Good morning, instructor. I'm to make in response to the given assignment on the breadth of cybersecurity law. In modern society, technology has expanded and grown where almost anybody has some sort of interaction with technology, especially the internet. This presentation will discuss how the relationship that ethics and law have, as well as describe civil disobedience in regard to ethical hacking. Also highlight penalties for unethical hacking and explore the gray area that still apply. Laws and ethics. Many times people mix up laws and ethics, and in some sense they are both intertwined. But when you give a deep look into each term, there are some differences. Both are similar in the way they both have rules and guidelines. The law refers to a systematic body of rules that governs the whole society and the actions of its individual members. And ethics is a branch of moral philosophy that guides people about the basic human conduct. Both law and ethics work side by side so that they do not crash into each other but are regulated in separate ways, as the law is regulated by the government and ethics is regulated by individuals. Civil disobedience and its relation to ethical hacking. Civil disobedience is a technique of resistance and protest whose purpose is to achieve social or political change by drawing attention to problems and influencing public opinion. Breaking specific laws which are unjust constitute direct acts of civil disobedience. Symbolic acts of civil disobedience are accomplished by drawing attention to a problem indirectly. Sit-in and other forms of blockade and trespass are examples of symbolic acts of civil disobedience. To shed more light, in order for hacking to qualify as an act of civil disobedience, hackers must be clearly motivated by ethical concerns, be non-violent and be ready to accept the repercussions of their actions. Examined in this light, the hack by Eugen Kasparov clearly constitutes an act of ECD. Kasparov, who sucked traffic from Internet to, to protest the domain name policy. He did this anonymously and went to jail as a result. Further evidence of ethical motivation for activism can also be seen in the messages left behind at hacked sites. The criminal penalties related to unethical hacking. The Computer Fraud and Abuse (CFAA) is the leading federal anti-hacking legislation that prohibits unauthorized access to another computer system. Although the law was originally meant to protect the computer system of US government entities and financial institutions, the scope of the act expanded with amendments to include practically any computer in the country. Criminal penalties related to unethical hacking. Obtaining national security information, 10 years and 20 years maximum for a second conviction. Accessing a computer to defraud and obtain value, 5 years imprisonment. Accessing a computer and obtaining information, 1 to 5 years imprisonment. Intentionally damaging by knowing transmission, 1 to 10 years imprisonment. By second for second conviction. Extortion involving computers, 5 years, 10 years maximum for a second conviction. Trafficking in passwords, 1 year, 10 years maximum for a second conviction. Area Grey area in which law has not yet caught up with the technology innovation. Given the scale and complexity of the global economy as well as our knowledge about human nature, it would be extremely naive to rely simply on spontaneous and voluntary ethical behavior by individuals and corporations to ensure fairness or improve human dignity. Regulation combined with serious enforcement is required to guide our behavior and ensure the rule of law. However, this approach has often resulted in a cat and mouse game between regulators and economic actors. Law-abiding individuals and corporations spend inordinate amount of time and money in search of legal loopholes in order to achieve technical compliance only, while others abuse the legal framework so that their criminal activities can remain undetected. The example of social media and electronic cigarettes demonstrate this point. There are interesting similarities between them. Both use advanced technology in innovative and fast-changing environment and are therefore almost impossible to define with enough specificity to allow the lengthy regulatory process to run its course. The ethical and legal issues involved in the case are complex, and the overall remedial action taken by the company has addressed the broader privacy agenda. Facebook has taken steps to ensure more transparency in terms of advertisement and has indicated that they will do this regardless of possible new legal requirement to do so, such as the Honest Act in the United States. Thank you for listening.